that by way of force that people can come in and take over the party. I just want to say before I start taking questions from journalists here present, I am not one who is easily cowed. For those who have been threatening me since yesterday, for those who on social media believe that I can be bullied, for people like People Gazette who have sent messages threatening that they are publishing story about tax evasion, the same story they published 2 or 3 years ago in America. I will say to them very clearly now that at least I was assessed taxes that they are claiming $2-point-something million in America. The people that they are promoting, they should show you where they pay taxes, the business they do, and their means of livelihood. To those who continue to believe that politics in Nigeria should continue by way of bullying, threats, and aggressive forms of behavior, I want to tell you that we need to move away from this style and this brand of politics in Nigeria. You cannot continue to cow people on social media. You are the vocal minority, and the silent majority will continue to have their way in Nigeria. You cannot bully people into going your way. As a party, I have here William, who's chairman of Benue State, Musa, the state chairman, Niger State, William from Nasarawa State here. I have Mohammed, who's national PRO. I have a Timbuk chairman, Akwa Ibom, Mohammed Bono, and Zaradin Jigawa. These people you see here are people they've called ordinary Nigerians, common men, who are the people who have been the guardians, custodians of this party. They are the people you saw yesterday when Nwosu said that all their offices have been dissolved so that these new people can take over the party. Just imagine the situation. The so-called common ordinary Nigerians who have safeguarded this party for years, who've nourished this party, who, because of people like this, I happened to emerge as the presidential candidate of this party a few years ago. They were just asked to relinquish their offices on media yesterday. This is not what they signed up for. They were validly elected through conventions into their various offices. Of course. And they were chased out of their offices yesterday. This morning, my friend and brother Bolaji, former Minister of Youth, was saying on Arise TV that, yes, the politicians are the ones that messed up Nigeria, and we should give them, the politicians, the opportunity to fix Nigeria. And my response then and my response now is this. All men are political beings, but Nigeria can no longer afford to have this same group of people to continue to mind the affairs of Nigeria. We have gotten it wrong for way too long as a people. Our youths have had their minds messed up. They no longer believe in themselves. They believe that nobody cares for them. If you look at the rates of suicide in Nigeria, the rates of drug use in Nigeria, the rates of social misadventure, the social illness in Nigeria, where it now seems that we're exporting kidnapping in Nigeria, where people are now selling their children, people are killing their parents in Nigeria. If you look at the ills in our society because of misplaced priorities from failed leadership, and these people believe that this same leadership should continue to rule our affairs in this country. They continue to believe that our youth should be their tools and fools for them. We cannot continue like this in this country. We've done this for too long, and we cannot continue this anymore. ADC, the ADC we have been trying to build for the last couple of years, is a party that has a set of ideals, that a party that should be different, where everyone, irrespective of where you come from, who you are in society, the size of your pocket, your educational qualification, whoever you are, you should feel welcome in this party, that this party can accommodate you. So be you big, be you rich, be you poor, you are welcome in this party. But yesterday you saw the reason why we stood against these people, because you saw how they easily chase these people out of their offices because they don't represent who the so-called big men look like, or the people they can work with. But these same people, in the last elections, took this party to 5th place. And if they continue building on that firm foundation, someday this party will continue to produce people who can do right by Nigeria. Who can do right by Nigeria. I tell you how easy it is for the media to make or mar a nation. Immediately I emerged as the presidential flag bearer of this party in the last elections. 24 hours later, media in Nigeria, the whole media, mainstream media, all they said is the 4 leading candidates. Headline pages, 4 leading candidates. Out of 19 presidential flag bearers, they said these are the 4 leading candidates. Atiku, Tinubu, P2B, and Kwakwanso. So essentially what the media sold to Nigerians is that these are the 4 serious candidates. So essentially there's no point, no need looking at the rest of us. I immediately protested because their montage was showing these poor people as the candidates. I protested. I reached out to various media owners, and immediately they understood that what they did was wrong, and they corrected it. They added me to their montage. But I tell you something, just the fact that they showed me, they spotlighted me in that, made a difference for our party to emerge, because people saw us, people believed that this is probably a serious party, this is a serious candidate. And that's what you, the media, you owe Nigerians. To see the media reporting David Mark as the chairman of the party and understanding that is a faction of the party who handed that party over to him. And no one saying David Mark, chairman of the faction of the party. You are doing a disservice to the so-called common men here, the so-called ordinary Nigerians. If you continue to report things inaccurately, you are sending a strong message, a subliminal message, which subliminal persuasion on the minds of average Nigerians. You owe it to us as a party to present our stories, to report it fairly and accurately. This is all we ask of you. These men have worked hard. I made a pledge to these men when I emerged as the chairman or the presidential flag bearer of this party. I said to them, you've complained to me that you have been used for too long to make money off people who want to run for offices on the platform of this party, and that this is not what you stand for. But you cannot speak up because they can remove you easily. I pledge to them that as long as I'm in this party, that will no longer happen. That I will fight for them. As your presidential flag bearer, even though I'm not a presidential flag bearer, I will continue fighting for your rights in this party. You've done me a great honor, and I will repay that honor by fighting for you guys. The easiest thing was for me to have left this party since after the elections. Not so? In a season, in a country where people crisscross from party to party. I could have done that very, very easily. But I made a pledge to them, a commitment to uphold the values of the party and to fight for members of the party. That's what I am still doing now. Our party has had a lacuna for too long. So we call on INEC to do what is right by our party. We call on the media to do what is right by our party by reporting accurately the affairs of our party. We call on Nigerians to hold firm and hold fast. Because I tell you this, a country that has been brought to its knees needs fresh leadership, fresh ideas, fresh ideals. That's why we say we're a party where all men are equal before our flag, all men are equal before the Constitution. A party that will believe that social justice should be done to all the weak in our society. That's why we hold these ideals to be true, to be self-evident. We cannot continue like this as a people. But the world, the people, who we are, will continue to be seen through the eyes of the media. That's why I invited you people here today. Your headlines today about our party don't accurately depict what's happening in our party. The people who are coming through the window, through the back door, They don't own our party. They've not taken over our party. We are fighting for our party, I assure you. I assure all our party members across the country, all of you are sending me messages, I assure you, that we won't go down, we won't let go of our party like this. Our party is worth fighting for. I assure all of you here that I'll fight for this party, I'll fight for you. We won't let go, we won't give up our party to these people, no matter how rich they are, no matter how powerful they are, no matter how deep their pockets, no matter the amount of threats made against me, my family, or to you, the party members, no matter the amount of blackmail. Blackmail me all day long. Write anything you want to write. I don't bother, I don't read those things. I am mission focused. We are mission focused as a party, and we'll get where we want to go to. Thank you. All options are on the table. INEC still happens to be the regulator of political parties.
Yes.
The courts still remain the last hope of the common man. The Nigerian people are our witnesses in what is going on, and our case will go before these three sets of people. In regards to your question concerning this chairman, we have Elias from Elias Abiku from Benue State, who is heading the chairman here, the various chairmen here. He's heading them. The question as to who or when the convention brought them in, I believe this convention was in 2022, April 2022. Their tenure will lapse April next year. Their tenure will lapse April next year. I also have you know that for the last 2 or 3 years, Ralph Nwosu, with the active connivance of some people in INEC, did not let them perform in their offices. So essentially what happened was that they wrote letters, they appointed new chairmen in their offices because these people insisted that Nwosu's tenure had lapsed, and Nwosu started appointing new chairmen. And INEC, instead of acting to say there's a convention that brought these people in, INEC looked the other way. Eventually, the same INEC, in wanting to do an arbitration, recognized them as chairmen and brought them to a round table with Nwosu. So I wonder why for 3 years you didn't let them act in their capacity as chairman of different state chapters. But we're still going to the same INEC, that INEC must let us and all Nigerians know who is the chairman of the party. Is there any chairman in this party, or is there a lacuna or a vacuum in this party? We are asking INEC to let us know. We're also asking INEC, if there be a vacuum, we need to do a convention immediately so that the current neck of the party, made up of the state chairman, will then convene a convention immediately so that a new leadership of the party will emerge. That's our pathway to resolving the issues in the party. I also want to make something clear to a lot of friends and well-wishers, a lot of people who have asked me, why can't we work with these people? I said yesterday, ADC, our logo is a handshake. A handshake signifies peace, signifies friendliness, signifies we are welcoming to everybody. So we actually welcome people to the party. We are not excluding people from coming to the party. We need people to come into the party. Our issue is that we've said that these people came in through the back door. If you want to come into our party, come in through the front door. The whole world witnessed what happened yesterday. A man was announced as the interim chairman of the party, and his party card, membership card was given to him right in that very place. How does that even begin to make sense?
In a democratic society.
Someone is just announced as the interim chairman, and you're at that point where you are making him a member of the party. That's when you are saying he's the interim chairman. What kind of party is this? Next question.
Okay. I am
no, all over social media, like we know what happens with these people, these parties, be APC, PDP, Labour, the Obedience, and all these people. Their brand of politics, where all they do is insult themselves, threaten themselves all over social media. We, ADC, we're not used to this. What is going on right now, we're not used to this. It's not, we are people who are decent people. We don't operate in this manner. So what they are doing is alien to us as a people, as a party. But I'm saying that we cannot be cowed. I'm the last person that anybody can cow. If you believe that by threatening, by blackmailing, by saying all sorts of things, it will make us change or move our position, you are making a big mistake. Dumebi Kachiko is the last person who you can threaten.
Okay. Yeah. I am Henry Mora, report for Vanguard. Prior to this development, were you discussed it? Was there any time they had a meeting with you that we are coming to your party?
Early this year, I agreed to have a meeting with them. A close friend of mine persuaded me to go for a meeting and hear these people out. I went for this meeting that had former ministers, a former highly placed person in the last government, and they presented their case to me, the need for a coalition, and everything they said was about Bola Ahmed Tinubu and how his government has destroyed Nigeria. And as is typical, Nigeria, what is in the minds of everybody is government is this, government is that, you know. But I had only one question, because in opposition, you have only one ambition, for you to be the ruling party. So for us as a party, our plan is how in the next election we can win the elections, or we can ensure that we have more people from the party emerge in various offices across the country. So if somebody wants to speak about coalition and how to achieve this, we are willing to listen. But I had one question, and my question was this. Seeing that we just finished 8 years of President Buhari, and that President Tinubu is in his first term, and that you people here, you old politicians, that you practice a politics of North and South, of religion, do you agree and accept that if there is a coalition, that the South is in their first term, and that the South will produce the flag bearer of this coalition? And the response, not considered, immediate response was, we are taking our power back. Now imagine my situation as someone who is or was the presidential flag bearer of a party that came fifth in the last elections. You are saying to me that I cannot aspire to office, that I should foreclose my ambition, that because I happen to be from the south of Nigeria, and that there's a presumed majority from the north of Nigeria, that you will take your power back. That was an absolute no-no for me. And that ended every talk about coalition, because it was very, very clear that the coalition was engineered to produce Atiku Abubakar as his flag bearer. Now, I still say this today. I'm throwing this challenge to this coalition today. Make a pronouncement today that the flag bearer of this coalition will be someone from the southern part of Nigeria, so that the second term of the Southerners will be finished. Make that statement a categorical statement, and we'll admit you through the front door and say that there is a conversation to be had. I'm throwing this gauntlet now. Let them know this. But you see that this is going to be the hardest thing for any one of them to do, because it's a coalition that has been designed and engineered to produce Atiku Abubakar as his flag bearer. And that is an absolute no-no. An absolute no-no. Next question, please.
I have a question.
No, my question.
I want all Nigerians to know. For the last 2 decades, all we hear from these old foggies, these geriatrics, is anytime someone opposes their agenda, they say you are being sponsored. But I tell you, Nigerians, I want you to know what's really happening. These people are being sponsored against you, Nigerians. They are all the same. They are an old boys club. They are all friends. They all meet at night to plan against you. If Tinubu is president and Atiku is president, there's no difference. They are all friends. If Obi is president and Kwankwaso is president, there's no difference. They are all friends. You are the outsiders. You average Nigerians are the outsiders. You are not their friends. You don't go for their birthday parties. You don't go for their weddings. You don't go for their dinners. But they all attend each other's parties and each other's weddings because they are an old boys club. You, the Nigerians, are the outsiders. They are the ones sponsoring them against you so that you don't wake up one day and say, no, we're tired of these people. We need to do something about these people. How can I stay as a secondary school student? I was hearing David Mark saying phones are not for the poor people. I grew up, I'm having children. I'm seeing David Mark as my Senate president. I am in my 50s. I have 8 children. I'm seeing David Mark as the interim chairman of a faction of my party. When will they leave us alone?
That is it.
When will their children assume the mantle of leadership in Nigeria? Don't they have children? Don't they have grandchildren? This is the question you should ask yourselves. Are you saying as you are here suffering in Nigeria today that you are not deserving, you are not worthy, you don't have what it takes to be a local government chairman in Nigeria? Unless they anoint you. If you make the mistake of thinking that this is about me, or buying into this, their story that I'm being sponsored, let me tell you this, I'm saying it loud and clear. There's not one politician in Nigeria who has what it takes to sponsor me. Not one. But I can tell you this, I have produced governors, I have produced ministers, I have produced local government chairmen.
Of course.
But there's not one of them that has what it takes to sponsor me. They can't afford to buy my conscience. When I speak on issues concerning Nigeria, it's about what pertains to the common man. I drive, you guys all know this, I drive myself, I move without policemen. Today is the first day, because of all the threats yesterday, that I said, you know what, I need to start to take this issue seriously because my family, they are concerned. I drive myself everywhere. In the last elections, there were people who were saying, you cannot be a presidential candidate. How can you drive in yourself? That you have to be like this big man, you have to wear agbada, that I don't wear agbada. What does agbada have to do with the solutions I'm proffering for Nigeria?
Yeah.
Don't let these old people deceive you. Don't let their brand of politics deceive you. Don't let North and South deceive you. Don't let religion deceive you. Ultimately, when you go home tonight, you are the one that knows that it's Gary you're going to drink in your house. You're the one that knows the price of yam. You're the one that knows what it costs you for transport. You're the one that knows that. Not these people. They move in a retinue of cars, 6 to 8 cars. Ask yourself what they do. When you question me and say that they say they are being sponsored, ask yourself what these people do 9 to 5, what they do for a living. You see people who have been in government for the last 18, 20, 24 years, 26 years. They've not done anything. Government has paid their way. They are flying, government pays their health care. I pay my children's school fees myself, not government. I pay my bills myself, not government. But they cannot boast the same thing. You can't boast the same thing. We're all victims.
We are.
So when you report this, when you ask questions, think about this. I'm not your problem. They are your problem.
Precisely.
We are all victims of an unjust system, an inequitable system. We're demanding a seat on the table. President Tinubu is not my problem. Atiku as a person is not my problem. Their generation is my problem. Their generation and what they stand for, they are my problem. So they should not bring their battles, their hatred for each other into our party. They should not bring their mindless pursuit of power into our party. In the last 3 weeks, you all see what's happening in Nigeria. Bombings have resumed again. Yeah. Sponsored bombings resumed. We saw it in Abuja. It was seen in Borno. In Kano. Don't you ask yourself, this same thing happened when President Jonathan was there? It disappeared since it started again. So these people will do anything for power. They will pay any price for power. It's innocent Nigerians that suffer, people like you and I. So think very carefully when you underreport, when you report wrongly, when you misinform. All we are asking you is, these people they've called ordinary Nigerians, common men, who built a party, if it's right for them to be chased out of their party, removed from their offices, because big men, so-called big men, want to use their party to fight their personal battles. That's the question I'm asking people today. That's the question I'm asking you today. If it's right, if it's proper for big men to chase the so-called common ordinary Nigerians out of their office, out of their party, because big men want to use this party. You went to SDP, Wale chased them out of SDP. You tried ADA, did not work. Just think about it. It's not mind-boggling that politicians, there's no ideology. No. You are going from party to party. There's no ideology. How can they represent you? Don't you ask yourself this question?
Desperation.
My point was clear. They invited me for a meeting because they believed that the right channel to the party was this route. And that's why they invited me for a meeting. And if they wanted to use our party, that the right channel would be to go through the state chairman. What happened after that? That obviously 30-something, 36 state chairman. What they did was that we had about 11 of them who had their names in the court process that we filed. And what they did was they started buying them one by one. They started buying them one by one so that they could pull out the case from the court. And I called the state chairman and I said to them that these people believe that money answereth all things, that there's no problem with that. That what you should do is let them buy you. Let them pay what they think that they want to buy. Collect that money. Do what they want and let us see how far they'll go. Eventually, they believe that once you pull out the case from the court, that they will take over the party. But they forgot one crucial thing. Pulling the case out of the court will never in any way satisfy the issue of, is Ralph Mosu the chairman of the party? That was the fundamental mistake they made. So we essentially set them up. They took the money, they pulled out the case, let's just watch what they will do. And watched and waited for them, and we saw that they were going to land in our party. The lesson for you today is very, very clear.
Very clear.
For us, we wanted to show them that these common men, that they believe that they can buy their conscience with 500,000 naira. They wanted to teach them a lesson to say, we are not for sale. That's what you see playing out here today. The chairman set them up and said, we are not for sale. That's what you see playing out here today. They least expected this because they believed that they had bought their consciences. But what you see playing out today is that the chairman is saying that we are not for sale. Next question, please.